Hey everybody, and thanks for joining in for another video. I'm your Dexter Theorist, and can we all just agree that some of the best threats in the Dexter universe were the ones who didn't follow any rules at all? For 8 seasons and a revival, we watched Dexter Morgan walk this insane tightrope. But what if the one person who could truly understand his darkness wasn't another killer with a code, but a twisted fan who wanted to play with her new favorite toy? I know I'm not alone in thinking about this because it's been one of the most requested topics I've had. So after rewatching the series and spending hours writing the script, I think I'm finally ready to tell my version of the story. Enter Mia LaPierre. The press calls her Lady Vengeance, a killer who seems to be a dark mirror of Dexter himself. But we know the truth. Mia has no code. She kills for the thrill, and her targets are chosen on a whim. She is everything Dexter has always been terrified of becoming. In the show, Dexter is horrified by this and frames her to protect his son. But what if the story went another way? What if, in that moment of being framed, Mia's sharp mind put all the pieces together? This isn't a story about exposure. This is a story about ownership. Because for Mia, Dexter's secret isn't a threat. It's the ultimate form of entertainment. And this is going to be a long one, so strap in, grab some snacks, and enjoy the ride. Our story diverges right there in that sterile prison interrogation cell. I like to imagine Mia LaPierre sitting across from her lawyer, her face a perfect mask of wronged indignation. She's been framed for a murder orchestrated by Dexter, and to the cops, it's an open and shut case. They found the victim's watch in her apartment, a brilliant move by Dexter. The evidence is overwhelming, but Mia isn't just a killer, she's a connoisseur of details. The same way she can taste the soil in a glass of wine, she can taste the subtle notes of a setup. Her mind is just firing on all cylinders, replaying every interaction with that quiet, awkward man who called himself Red. The man who was really Dexter Morgan. She remembers his intense questions, his weirdly nostalgic talk about Miami, the city of the Bay Harbor butcher. And then there's the watch. It was too perfect, planted by someone who understood the mind of a killer because they were one. The pieces don't just fit, they snap together with the force of a revelation. It wasn't just a frame-up, it was a professional courtesy from one master to another. Most people would freak out or thirst for revenge. But Mia? Nah. A slow, predatory smile spreads across her lips. It's a smile of pure fascination. She doesn't see a monster who caged her. She sees an equal, an artist, a legend, and a legend she decides is way too valuable to just hand over to the police. He's a resource to be cultivated, a tool to be wielded. Her prison sentence becomes a temporary inconvenience. The legal system is just another game. I like to imagine she doesn't escape in a hail of bullets. Instead, she uses her intellect, her charm, maybe a little blackmail on a guard. She finds a loophole and casts just enough doubt. She walks out of prison, not exonerated, but free, and her first order of business isn't to flee the country, it's to reintroduce herself to the Bay Harbor butcher, this time on her terms. The game has begun. Dexter thinks he's safe. He believes the threat of Mia is neutralized. He's back to being a father, reinforcing that quiet life he's so desperate to build. The dark passenger is quiet. This, of course, is the precise moment Mia chooses to strike, and her first move isn't a big confrontation. That would be crude. Mia's style is psychological. One evening, Dexter comes home to a package on his doorstep. No note. Inside, nestled in silk, is a single bottle of wine, a 1973 Chateau Lafite Rothschild. It takes Dexter a second, but then a cold knot tightens in his stomach. It's the same vintage he found in the cellar of Jorge Castillo, a victim from Miami whose kill was never, ever connected to the Bay Harbor butcher. It's a message only 2 people in the world could possibly understand: the killer and someone who knows his entire playbook. Paranoia just floods his system. His internal monologue, usually so calm, is now a frantic scream. Who knows? How do they know? He runs forensics on the bottle. Nothing. It's a ghost. The city, once his hunting ground, has become a cage lined with invisible eyes. The real confrontation is orchestrated with the same chilling precision. It happens in a place of calculated vulnerability, a park near Harrison's school. Dexter is trying to have a normal father moment when he feels a presence on the bench next to him. It's Mia. She's sipping a coffee, looking like any other parent. She doesn't even look at him. She watches Harrison. "He has your eyes," she says, her voice totally calm. That same intensity. I wonder what he would think if he knew what was behind them. Dexter's blood runs cold. His mind is a whirlwind of escape routes, attack plans. "There's no need for that," she says, like she's reading his thoughts. She finally turns to him, her smile bright, but with zero warmth. "I know what you are, Dexter Morgan, the Bay Harbor Butcher. It was a work of art, truly. Your early period, a bit raw, but the volume is breathtaking." She takes another sip of coffee. "And I have to say, being framed by a master was in its own way a compliment, but it also creates a debt, and I'm here to collect." Her voice turns to steel. "I'm not going to the police. Where's the fun in that? Exposing you would be like smashing a priceless violin. No, I'd much rather hear it play." This is when Dexter realizes this isn't a negotiation. It's a declaration. This isn't Lila, driven by emotion. This is something way more terrifying. Mia is driven by her own amusement. She lays out her first demand. A rival of hers in the sommelier world is an obstacle. He's not a killer. He's not a monster. He's just in her way, and Mia wants him removed permanently. "Consider it a partnership," she says, standing up. "You do your little project. I do mine. And from time to time, you'll do a favor for a friend. Because if you don't," she glances back at Harrison, "this whole beautiful, fragile world you've built, it shatters. The choice is yours, Dexter. But we both know you don't really have one." She walks away, leaving Dexter sitting on that bench, a prisoner in his own life. The partnership, as Mia calls it, begins. But let's be real, it's not a partnership. It's a slow, methodical corruption. Mia's ultimate goal isn't just to use Dexter as her hitman. It's to break him, to dismantle the one thing that separates him from her, the code of Harry. For Dexter, the code is his religion. For Mia, it's a weakness, a charming little delusion she's going to shatter. She starts small. Her first few targets are, on the surface, code-worthy. A slumlord, a shady financier. Dexter takes them to his table, follows the ritual, and tells himself he's still in control. But he's lying to himself. Then, Mia makes her move. The new target, a journalist getting too close to one of her criminal enterprises. The guy isn't a killer, he's got a family, he is, by every definition of the code, an innocent. Dexter refuses. "He doesn't fit the code," he says. Mia just laughs. "Oh, Dexter, that dusty old rulebook? Your code is a fairy tale you tell yourself so you can sleep at night." Then she shows him her leverage, a file, not on him, but on Harrison. His school schedule, his friends. It's not a direct threat, it's worse. It's a quiet reminder. Then she offers him a poisoned apple for his conscience. Fabricated evidence. Fake bank records, a false police report. It's all fake, but it's just plausible enough for Dexter to grab onto. "He's dirty," she whispers. "You know there's darkness in everyone. You just have to look hard enough." Dexter is trapped. The specter of Harry is screaming at him, "Don't do it, son. This is how you lose yourself." But Mia's voice is louder. The dark passenger is roaring with hunger, and Dexter does the kill. It's ugly, messy. There's no satisfaction, just a sick, hollow feeling. He's crossed the line. He has killed for her, and this messy kill, so unlike the Bay Harbor Butcher, catches the attention of the NYPD. More specifically, a visiting consultant, Detective Angel Batista, who's in New York following up on his own lingering feelings about Dexter. The MO is wrong, but something about it pings on his radar. The old Bay Harbor Butcher case file gets reopened. Mia is delighted by this. The chaos, the rising stakes, it's all part of the game for her. She pushes him further, forcing him to alter his methods, creating a profile of a new, erratic killer. And Batista is smarter than that. He sees a pattern not in the MO, but in the chaos itself. He senses a manipulator pulling the strings. The game Mia started for fun is now drawing in players she never saw coming, and the board is getting dangerously crowded. Dexter's carefully compartmentalized world begins to bleed at the edges, and the collateral damage is catastrophic. The most significant victim is Harrison. Kids are perceptive, and Harrison, already carrying his own darkness, knows something is wrong. His father is a ghost in his own home, always on edge. He sees the secret meetings. He sees Mia, lingering in a car across from his school. A cold shadow his father pretends not to see. This pushes Harrison's own journey into overdrive. He starts investigating on his own, not looking for the Bay Harbor Butcher, but trying to understand the threat that has his father so terrified. He starts to see Dexter as a man who is being hunted, and a deep, primal instinct surfaces in him. The need to protect his father. Dexter's internal world is a war zone. The ghost of his sister, Deb, is his screaming conscience. "Look what she's doing to you, Dex." This isn't the code. Harry gave you rules to protect you, and you're letting this woman burn them all for fun. His mind is just a battlefield of Harry's code, Mia's chaos, and Deb's desperate pleas. And then there's Angel Batista. His investigation leads him right to New York. The reunion between him and Dexter is a masterpiece of suspense and heartbreak. They meet for coffee, two old friends. But the air is thick with things unsaid. Angel asks casual questions, but every single one is a probe, a test. And Dexter has to lie to the face of one of the only friends he ever had, all while Mia's invisible leash is tightening around his neck. His world isn't just unraveling, it's being systematically deconstructed. The psychological chess match spirals towards an endgame. Drunk on her own power, Mia overplays her hand. She has broken his code and corrupted his methods. Now, she wants to shatter his soul. She gives him the final target, Dr. Hill, a compassionate child psychologist Harrison has been seeing. A good man. There's no fake evidence, no pretense. He's getting too close to Harrison, Mia states, and by extension to us. This one isn't for me, Dexter. This one is for you. This is you choosing our survival over your sentimental attachments. This is a line Dexter cannot cross. Killing the guilty was a twisted sort of justice. Killing a manipulated target was a compromise. But killing a truly innocent man helping his son? That would make him irredeemable. He refuses. Mia, for the first time, is genuinely pissed. Her toy is broken. She sends Dexter a picture of Harrison taken moments ago with a simple text, "You have 24 hours, or I'll take care of the doctor myself. And then I'll have a long talk with your son. I'll tell him everything." But while Dexter is paralyzed by this checkmate, he has forgotten about the third player in the game, Harrison. Harrison has been watching Mia. He's tracked her. He sees the threat she poses as a simple, brutal equation. This woman is going to destroy his father. His own dark passenger, fueled by a fierce protective love, demands action. Dexter plans a desperate final move. He sets a trap at an abandoned warehouse, trying to get Mia on tape. The confrontation is electric. He's wired for sound, trying to get an admission, but she's too smart. She turns it all back on him, mocking his pathetic attempt to cling to his rules. "You're still fighting it, aren't you?" she sneers. Still pretending there's a good man in there. There isn't, Dexter. Harry didn't save you. He just put you in a smaller cage. I was trying to set you free. As she lunges at him with a hidden knife, a shadow detaches itself from the rafters above. It's Harrison. He's followed her here, armed with a hunting rifle. He has heard everything. In that split second, as Dexter reacts to Mia's attack, a shot rings out. Mia freezes, a look of shock on her face, before collapsing. Harrison stands on the catwalk above, the rifle still smoking. The silence that follows is deafening. Dexter looks from Mia's body to his son. Harrison has just killed to protect him. The cycle of violence hasn't just continued, it's been passed down. Dexter tried to outsmart the game, but the game played him, and the price of winning was his son's soul. The death of Mia LaPierre is not an ending. It is a final tragic turning point. The immediate threat is gone, but the damage is permanent. Her chaotic, public kills have put Angel Batista on a path that leads directly to Dexter's door. Mia's violent death is the final piece of the puzzle. Standing in that warehouse, looking at his son holding a rifle, Dexter finally understands his failure. The code was meant to contain a monster, but the monster broke free, not through his own actions, but through his son's. He sees with horrifying clarity that as long as he is free, Harrison never will be. To save Harrison, Dexter must destroy himself. Not his body, but his freedom. In the ultimate act of fatherly protection, he makes a choice. He doesn't run. He meticulously erases his son's presence from the scene, and then he waits. When the police arrive, led by a grim-faced Angel Batista, they find him sitting beside Mia's body. He doesn't resist, the mask is gone. As Angel puts the cuffs on him, a look of profound sorrow and 2 decades of suspicion confirmed on his face, Dexter feels a sense of finality. He has lost the game, but in doing so, he has given his son the only thing he has left, a chance at a life without him. This twisted timeline leaves us with some chilling questions. Who really won? Did Dexter find redemption by sacrificing himself? Or did Mia succeed beyond her wildest dreams by forcing him into an act of self-destruction more complete than any kill? So what do you think? Who was the more dangerous predator in this psychological war? Was it the man bound by a code, or the woman who reveled in chaos? Let me know your theories in the comments below.